absolute most important thing for anybody to be successful at any endeavor, including writing books, is your network, your internal network of people you trust, and then your network of social people that keep you sharp by keeping you out there and learning about new things in life and just having some social time to entertain and let your stress out.
Social time. Hey, welcome back to the channel, All Things Business. Al Thomas here with a dear friend of mine who's an author. Yes, for you folks out there writing books, we got an author here, Mr. Don Holbrook, a dear friend of mine. Don Holbrook, gosh, tell everybody how we met, my friend.
Oh my, we met in, was it third or fourth grade? Third or fourth grade when our kids were in school. No, it was kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
It was kindergarten and at school. And Al and I were the only two men that I noticed that were able to be in the middle of the day at school events. There were a lot of hot women, though. We have to agree on that. But and that's something that we hit it up on. And then I said, well, this guy got to be pretty cool if he can be here in the middle of the day. He can have a regular job, like me. So I liked him.
And they went to private school here in Vegas called the Meadows, which is pretty, the private school of all private schools. And the mayors and the governors, all their kids go. They kind of get the idea that all the big doctors, that's that kind of private school. And there was a trip that when I used to go on the field trips with my kids, sometimes I was the only guy on the field trip, and they always the women, the moms were all alone. Who is he? What does he do? So I told them I was a mail handler. I had kind of, I was a mailman, and they thought I'd laugh, and because everybody was curious. What does he do that he can afford to be out here and all these prominent kids? And you're a mailman, huh? Anyway. So
I had a backstory.
Tell us one.
Well, I told them that I was a male dancer down on the strip in a show called the Chunky Dales. and they believed it. I didn't know why,
So funny. So let me ask you a question, Don. Now, we've been buds for many years.
16 years.
16 years. Our kids grew up together. He's got our kids grew up together. He has two handsome, tall boys. Mom works at home selling high-end watches. So anytime you go, high-end watches, that's what she does. And they just got back. You just got back from a trip. Tell us about the trip a little bit.
Yeah, we went to Switzerland and Liechtenstein, which is the richest country in the world per capita. I don't know if you know that. Little tiny principality. I don't know what they make their money on because there's no sign of it anywhere. But lots of Rolls Royces driving around everywhere.
That's definitely a sign.
And, then went from there to Malta and then from there to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And I took Al's suggestions up on going to the Gold Coast and running around and seeing all that extravagant. I don't even know the word that I would put on it, but beyond whatever we normally do here.
It's beyond what most people see in America. Abu Dhabi is old money and Dubai is new money. And it's just so much wealth there. People ride around in Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Matter of fact, the police have Ferraris and run around in Lamborghinis there,
I saw some.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
And Bugattis are a dime a dozen over there. You think they're like Volkswagens. But anyway, if you've never been, it's amazing. He just got back about a week or so ago from there. And he's come out with a book. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So I want to ask you a couple questions, but I know, but I want our audience to know around the world. Well, how did you get started becoming an author? Tell us what got you in the frame of mind of becoming an author. Before we talk about all your accolades, because I got a few of them I want to talk to you about.
Well, got to remember, he is my friend. He will BS a little bit about my accolades, but that's okay. But I got started pretty much the same way you guys started as an entrepreneur. I got tired of all the other crap and working a regular job I was an economist before.
Economist.
An economist, yeah.
A real one that can tell the truth. Not most of these guys project stuff that don't happen.
I was one of those talking heads on the TV that they interviewed about what was going to happen. I did the Vegas report for 8+ years here every year. And did a lot of this all over the world. And as I was traveling, I ran into all these stories, and they were just so interesting. And all my stories come from something I've heard from somebody else, and then I extrapolate them and fictionalize them.
Wow!
So I just decided about 24 years ago to hang it up and try to do this. And everybody thought I was crazy, and I left my day job and started writing books. And first one was a bestseller, but after that it was kind of slow pickings for a little while, and then I kind of figured it out.
I want to go back. So when you left, like you guys, entrepreneurs and real estate people, network marketing people, just business people, Don't all your friends always think you're crazy for leaving that secure job? It's not secure.
Yeah.
My mentor once said, go find a good and job, and good and job don't even go together. But anyway, you left that and you start writing.
Yep.
And you've written a couple books. How many books have you written to this date, would you say?
25.
25 books. Now, I'm going to bring that out. The second question, now, what about the number? Now, he's also, talk about being the number one best-selling author, because he is a number one best-selling author. You want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, what we all do as authors is we pick genres that match our books. And Amazon sells the majority of all books in the world. So everybody talks about the New York Times and all these other USA Today. None of that stuff really matters. It's how you rank on Amazon, because that's real sales. Yeah. And they tell you every week and every day, they give you a report on where your book is versus the rest of the millions of books that are out there. So, my first number one bestseller was a nonfiction book called The Next America back in 2014, which predicted the rise of a guy like Donald Trump, not Donald Trump himself, but the rise of a man like him, or woman, that was apolitical and that was not going to be the normal Washington, kind of the drain the swamp kind of thing. Yeah. So that book hit number one and did really well. And then after I saw what number one's like in the nonfiction side, I had a bunch of buddies that were fiction authors, right? Okay. And they said, what they make in a month is what I made in a year at number one. Wow. And I said, I'm writing the wrong genre. I can write fiction. And I started thinking about all these stories I had heard all my life, traveling, right? Yeah. And I said, man, I'm switching. And everybody on the team got terrified because we just imagine you're 18 books in and you find out how to hit number one, right? And your whole team's really excited and you fly home. I was in Hawaii, by the way, when I found out, just like this time I was in Europe. And I fly home and I say, well, I'm going to fiction. We're not going to do nonfiction anymore. Who cares about being number one, top of the mountain? I'm going to go climb another mountain. Yeah. And they all were terrified. And we made the transition. It was a little dicey. I'm sure it was. And then last week while I was in Europe, this current book hit number one, on Amazon again. So it's, we're really tickled that we did it now. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Yeah. That's amazing. What question I was going to ask him before this, but I can ask him now. What does it take to be a good author? Not just an author, but a good author like you are. Team. Sound like that sounds familiar? Network marketers, real estate, business people. It's a team. TEAM. Together, each achieves more. Talk about your team. You like that one? Man, Man, and I've never gotten a cigar on an interview, so this is better than like Johnny Carson. George Burns would be eating his heart out right here, man. Yeah, he's probably up in heaven looking down as one of his Cuban cigars. He's got one in his mouth right now, I can tell you, because he's. I just opened a box of brand new Monte Cristo, his favorite. So I may have a box around. I just make sure I opened a crisp brand new one for him when he came over. And not just Monte Cristo, the brand, the number, Monte Cristo number 2. That's right, his favorite. I said, man, I came over, I said, I know my buddy Al's got cigars, but I didn't know he had these. This is really good. Yeah, that's his favorite. I made sure I had some over here. Because I love cigars, good Cuban cigars anyway. And you were asking about the author thing. So it takes a team, and it took most authors' main mistake when they first start, especially the amateurs, is that they try to do everything solo. And you just can't. You can't edit your own work. You can't see the mistakes. So if you're thinking about writing a book, hear what Don said. Say it one more time so they can hear it again. Do it by yourself. Got to have a team. So after I figured out that I was going to flop and trying to do it by myself, I started developing a team of people that were good at all their expertise in their niches. And that is what really makes you, I think, successful in anything as a team. It's a team. Infrastructure. So let's talk about your team. What does your team consist of to be a good author? I have people I work with regularly all the time, like editors. So I have a couple developmental editors, couple copy editors, line editor. That's the one that makes sure that the words are all right, and then you have a format editor. All those are different people, and each one of them gets a gig, and each one of them you have to pay before you ever release your book. So you're out a lot of money before you ever get a book to see if it's going to actually make sales. Okay. There's no way to know in the genie in the bottle whether you're going to have a magic elixir that sells books or whether it's going to be a flop, because I've had flops. I've had ones that sold 236 books and I never forgot spending a year and making $500.
Wow.
And
Wow.
because you make about $2 a book.
$2 a book.
Yeah. So, but you got to have editors. You got to have an illustrator to do your cover. I have 3 or 4 of those that I work with, and I pit them against each other to see which one comes up with the best idea.
Price.
And well, price is a little, but I mean, if it's a couple $100 this way or that way, and the work is so much better, I'm going to go with the quality.
Of course,
but
quality.
I mean, none of them are going to be astronomically stupid because I've already vetted them to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And so you have an illustrator, and then here's the part that people forget about. You got to have proofreaders, people that read your raw work and tell you whether they like it or whether the tempo is there or the pace or they understand the arc or the characters are developed enough. So I have probably 200 proofreaders that I pay to read my book before it ever hits the market.
Well, let's say, okay, that's great because you're accomplished #1 bestseller author, but let's talk to a person who's just out there starting off. What would you advise that person out there listening to this podcast from around the world? How would you suggest they start off before they got, you're #1 author, on both sides. So, but a person out there listening, saying, Mr. Thomas, I'm not where he's at. I don't have, oh my God, I'm lost it. What are the basic stuff that somebody just starting off would need to do?
Well, I'll be a little greedy first because I get this question a lot in a lot of interviews, a lot of social events. And I wrote a book called How to Become a Published Author. It's under my name on Amazon. It sells for exactly what Amazon charges to print it. I would get that as a roadmap because it answers a whole lot of questions. But then I would tell you that you need to you don't have to have a legion of people, but I would go get some software, go get some stuff like AutoCrit and maybe Grammarly so you have your stuff going. Because we do run various software packages. I would learn, and this is going to surprise a lot of you, I'd learn how to use Claude AI. As an editor as well to give, not that don't ask the AI to write for you. They're horrible, but you can ask it to read your novel. Mm-hmm. You can ask it questions like, where did this first occur? Yeah. Takes you right to it. And that saves you so much. It's so much faster than a human editor when it comes to that stuff.
That makes sense.
But I don't ask it to write, but I ask it, what'd you think about that? And it tells you, the combined intellect, it's at about 110 intellect right now, which is better than the average human. Yeah. So I do that. And then I would get one good editor or, get a hold of me and ask me for a list of people that I can recommend. I don't mind giving you recommendations.
By the way, you said your book is on Amazon, but you didn't say the name. So give the name of your book twice. So people out there want to go subscribe and buy the book to learn. So say it twice.
So it's under Don Holbrook and it's Ghost of the Rio Grande is my current book. It's the one that just hit #1 in fiction. And that's the one they're making the movie about.
No, we're going to talk about it in a second.
Oh, the book.
For beginners.
The A to Z of how to be a published author.
The A to Z to how to be a published author. So you guys out there, brand new, girls out there as well, brand new, go to get that one first and read to learn. My office is cluttered book. I read about 5 books a month. When he walked in, he saw my office is,
books everywhere.
I got books everywhere in my office because I'm an avid reader. Leaders are readers. So if they say they're not, I listen to audio. No, it's not the same because you can really pick up stuff and get both. That's what I advise people. Yeah. So that's what it takes to be a good author. Now let's talk about the next topic. Tell us about your new project. Let's talk about that.
Well, most authors, if they're got a signal up here.
That's all right. Keep going.
Most authors, if they have produced books that make sales and stuff and do well commercially, we always have a book on the computer that we're editing. And that next book for me is The Ninth Templar, which is coming out at Christmas this year. And we usually give about a 2-year separation between books to give us time to market it and get it out there and stuff. So The Ninth Templar I'll publish at Christmas, and then the book that I'm writing right now.
No, let me break in for a second. Okay. The Ninth Templar. You just got back from Europe. Mm-hmm. Talk about the Europe and the Ninth Templar, which you just came back from. Then we'll move to that part.
Okay. So when I travel about this stuff, it's not just ad hoc travel just for the fun of it. I always go on what I call immersive research.
Okay.
So I go the places that I'm going to talk about in the book and I explore them myself humanly and get a good, what's it smell like? What's it look like? What are the people like? How do people get along here? What's the whole kind of atmosphere
in the background
and the terrain and the landscape and stuff and I actually pick real restaurants that I go to and eat, and I mention them in the books. I'll say, here's I usually try to find where the locals say are the best cafes, the best bistros. I don't go to the big stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I put those in the book and work them in. I don't put in the characters. I make characters up, but I just got back from the Switzerland trip, which is the tail end. Malta is the end of my first Ninth Templar series book coming out, but it's also the beginning jump off point for the sequel to that story, which I'm beginning to formulate right now.
Got it.
Which I think is going to be called Destiny in the Desert, which is why I went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Because that's why that's why I gave you ideas when he went, because I've been to Abu Dhabi and also Dubai, and gave me ideas where to go. I want to thank you for that. Now let's talk about your new project coming up. Matter of fact, is this it here?
No, that's Ghost. That's the one that's out right now.
Okay, this is one that's out right now. Matter of fact, I had it in my library.
I knew you did.
He gave me this copy a while back. And actually, every time I get an author, I always have them autograph me a book. And this is in my library. And I'll hold it up. It's The Ghost of the Rio Grande. You wanna share about this book, a little bit about this book?
Yeah, that's the one we have out right now. It's based on a real story about a real Tejano hero that was basically framed and wrongfully accused by the Texas Rangers of murdering one of the Rangers when really they came and accosted them, and he just defended his family. But they made him the most wanted man in Texas for about 5 years, and they could never catch him, so the media nicknamed him the Ghost. Because he could slip through everything. And he never did get caught or apprehended by the Rangers or any of the authorities. And then he uncovered kind of the treachery between the Rangers and the governor and the rich landowners that were falsely taking people's land down in the south of Texas because the big oil boom.
Okay.
The black gold under that land.
Gold.
They thought it was for cattle ranching, but it wasn't. It was to get the oil.
Wow.
And then he kind of uncovered that and thwarted and basically he led to the Rangers being disbanded by Governor Ma Ferguson, and she got rid of them for a while because of their treachery, and they'd killed so many people falsely and
for the oil.
Yeah. And they were just, they were basically a weaponized government agency. Sounds kind of familiar.
Sound familiar right now. Yeah.
And tension on the border sounds familiar right now.
Absolutely.
So, and that's how I did the story. I met his great grandson, Dr. Garcia, and he told me the initial story, and I thought, well, this is really good. I should take this and kind of make it into what we nicknamed it the Tejano Forrest Gump, because he meets everybody of any interest in that time period. Somehow I weave him to where he meets them, and then he becomes the hero, of course, of exposing all this and exposing that the Germans and the Mexicans had a treaty in World War I, and the Germans paid the Mexicans to invade the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yep. And that's why Pancho Villa raided north, and then Pershing chased him back down into Mexico.
Wow. I didn't know that. You guys know that? Also sounds like to me, if you hear him speak, he not only does his research, but he actually goes to these places to get further detail and the feel of the place, and then he writes it into his book. So, The Ghost of the Rio Grande. This is a book that's on Amazon right now. My dear friend Don, we've been knowing each other for 16 years, and I tell you what's amazing. Now, let's talk about this new project, which I'm really excited about that you're doing.
Ninth Templar?
The Ninth Templar.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when this one, I think you guys it's going to be filmed, isn't it? Warwick's working on that now.
Yeah, they're working on pre-production right now for the Ninth Templar, and
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood,
yep.
Yeah. And the Ghost is being filmed. The Ghost is being made right now into a Western. It's in production actually. They're actually getting characters and signing on talent and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. It's a whole new process for me. I've never done any of this Hollywood stuff. It's kind of as bad as it is portrayed on TV. It's kind of worse.
But you know what? The beautiful thing is he's growing. He's learning something different out of his comfort zone. Folks, if you're in business, sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone. Network marketers, you're always out of your comfort zone. Any business, you always get out of your comfort zone. That's how you grow to the next level. Let me share a little tidbit here. You can't get where you want to go using the same things you've done before. You got to get a new skill set. I'm learning a new skill set. Leaders are always learning new skill sets to stretch themselves to grow. And that's what this channel is about, helping you grow. So that's phenomenal. So it's out of your comfort zone, but you're doing it anyway. You're pushing through it.
And I don't always see eye to eye with everything they want to do. As you know, a lot of books are better than the movies, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They have creative control to some extent. And, but it's getting the message out that there's parts of our history that our country has somehow chosen to leave out of the history books.
It's a lot of that.
And so, it's what do they call a canceled culture?
Cancel culture. And I know about that.
This story is a prime example of them canceling out a real Tejano hero that exposed treachery and basically the white hierarchy of everything down
back
in Texas.
Back in the
1914.
1914.
Before World War I. And,
wow.
And the Germans paid the Mexicans to keep us out of World War I so they could win.
Wow. But you guys catch this?
Didn't work.
It's in the book, folks. It's in the book.
Yeah. It's
Now,
all right.
I'm so excited about this film coming out. You know why? Ask him why am I excited about the film coming out.
Is he going to get a little part in it?
I'll get a little part in it. And what else do we get to do in Hollywood? We do a little fancy.
You get to go to all the red carpet.
The red carpet.
He's going to get to do that.
Yes.
That's easy.
The three amigos, myself, you, and Steve. Steve, that's right, our third amigo. We get to walk the red carpet when this gets out. So, guys.
And our ladies.
And the ladies, that's right.
And they got to be decked out.
Yeah. I mean, that's
a rule.
Yep. Got to do it the right way. So, because the key is, are you associating and gathering people in your world, in your sphere, that are in the top of the mountain that they're doing? Now, here's an author, a best-selling author. He just shared some great insight. If you're brand new, want to start, great. Who knows where you could be in a year or two, but you got to be able to start today.
You got to get
When
started.
I started network marketing, I had to start that day, and I got started. Matter of fact, the first time I saw it, I signed up that same day and got started and never looked back. And that was 33 years ago. So, folks, and I learned along the way. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know it. But I learned
at 3 years old.
almost.
Yeah.
Almost
Barely out of the crib. Look at that.
Yeah.
3 years old.
See why I keep him around? You know, but
young he looks.
tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you do with your time, and anything you want to share with the audience.
You know, as my friend, because my friends are always trying to get me out doing stuff, and I'm always writing or editing or something or doing something like that. But they get me out enough to at least keep me social somewhat, even though I'm accused of being a recluse.
He has a recluse.
But, you know, the thing is, I want to hit on something you said when you talk about new things and you not know what's on the horizon. You know, the story after the Ninth Templar is this book called Bigfoot and the Bear. I was at the red carpet 2 years ago talking about Ghost when it was getting ready to go get optioned, right?
Okay.
And
what is that? Tell people what option means.
Option means somebody wants to make your book into a film.
There you
they
go.
have to pay you in order to what they call adapt it to screen.
Adapted to screen. Okay.
And then you get paid for that adaptation too. When they get the film budget, they have to pay you a piece of that budget. So I was there and everybody was talking about the Ghost and everything. There was a bunch of producers and directors and stars and stuff floating around. And this guy walks up to me and he starts talking to me. He goes, "What's your next project?" And I kind of looked around and, I said, "Well, and there was this big poster behind him, Al, on the wall. It was at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. It was a big poster of a bear catching a salmon in a stream like this. And in my mind, you know, I've always been fascinated with Bigfoot. And I said, it's called Bigfoot and the Bear.
Wow.
And
Bigfoot and the Bear.
I totally made all that up on the spot, right? And this guy goes, "Well, tell me about Bigfoot and the Bear." I said, "Well, it's really a story of Bigfoot and his girlfriend is a bear, but they're shapeshifters. And they're really here as guardians of Earth and trying to save us from the alien invasion that's coming." And he just looked at me and he goes, "Oh my God, I love this." And he walked away. Then one of my friends, the director, walks over and he says, "You were just talking to the program director for Netflix, and he told me he loves your story." Guess what, folks? I went home to the hotel room and started writing up Bigfoot and the Bear because that's what they want to buy. You sell them what they want to buy.
See, that's important. Write a book that they want to buy. Sell something they want to buy. Don't write what you want. Write what they want. Remember what they want. A lot of times people I see writing stuff about what they want. No, people never buy it. They want what they want. And your job is to deliver what they want.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. I mean, but you never know where you're going to run into an opportunity.
True.
I wouldn't dare talking about another book. I was thinking about the two I had on the market right then.
Right.
You know, Templar and Ghost. And I never thought about a third book. Matter of fact, I was thinking maybe I'd finish those series out and kind of hang up my spurs. But then all of a sudden,
another opportunity. See, that's how you 10x your business when you least expect it. But if you're not putting the work in to get here, then you never be able to 10x it by being out there with people that can help you 10x it. So surround yourself with successful people. I know my whole life I've surrounded, and you see some of my friends on here from all walks of life. That's what it's about. Your value is in the friendships you keep as well. And that's the beauty of this. So in closing, there's a few things you want to say to anybody out there in closing, give some advice or something?
I think Al's the network king, but that's the absolute most important thing for anybody to be successful at any endeavor, including writing books, is your network. Your internal network of people you trust to go to for advice and maybe work, like my vendors that do work for me. That's a network. And we've grown close over the years, over a decade together. And then your network of social people that keep you sharp by putting you out there and learning about new things in life and just having some social time to entertain and let your stress out.
Social time. Your net work will determine your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it again. Your net work, people that you work with, network will decide your net worth going up. Does that make sense?
And you know something, and I know you know this. I think highly successful people want others of their friends to be highly successful because they like to hang out with people similar to them. So they will help you if you're not quite there yet, get there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even in writing, I had authors that took me under their wing and said, you need to do this differently. You need to change this approach. And it worked.
That's why in network marketing, we take people on our wings and help them become millionaires. Just like in real estate, take people on our wings and show them how to become successful entrepreneurs in real estate. One point I had 54 properties. I took 8 or 9 guys under my women on my wings. They're very successful, also successful today. Who are you taking under your wings? First of all, you got to be that person worthy of teaching somebody else, but you got to get it first. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something today. I hope you'll look at this over and over again. For you folks, no matter what business you're in, you can take the same philosophies you heard here today and apply them to any business and watch it mushroom and 10 times your business. So with that, I want to thank you. Hey, hit the subscribe button below. And matter of fact, hit the bell notification. That way you'll hear a ding when the new one comes out. And also share this with 3 or 4 or 5 people, okay? And with that said, take care, God bless. And like I say, look at it 3 or 4 times. Thank you for joining us. All Things Business, Al Thomas and Don Holbrook over and out. Have a blessed day.